So, as I stated in my previous review, nothing has been as refreshing nor as emotionally engaging as Shuhei Fujisawa's works. And this one is even better than the previous film, which I enjoyed a lot. So, the actor Tatsuya Nakadai is just a really impressive actor and person. And to me, he might even be the greatest Japanese actor. What blows my mind is that he's 90 years old in this movie, and actually he's still acting, and this isn't even his latest movie. It's not like he just stands around either. He's falling down and getting hit and using his sword, so he's pretty active, so it's pretty impressive. He ended up giving us some of the greatest movies ever made, like Ron. What's kind of funny about that is he finally looks like that character that he played in a movie that was almost 40 years ago. So either they had a really good makeup team back then, or he just stayed looking 90 years old for 40 years. But what's pretty amazing is that he's deciding to use his last days to give us more excellent movies. And I really hope he lives many more years, because these last films by him are pretty incredible. One thing I know for sure though is that he will die with a samurai sword in hand and a smile on his face, because I know he loves doing this. And there's nothing better than to die doing something you love. So, first I'd like to mention that this movie was once again given to me by SamuraiDVD.com for a review. As far as I know, it's the only place to get this film. SamuraiDVD.com is basically a one-stop shopping for lovers of samurai cinema. It has both classic and brand new films. Each movie has excellent picture quality and excellent subtitle translations. And the best part about the site is most of these movies you really won't find anywhere else. He even has an entire Shuhei Fujisawa section, so all those movies are great. I've almost seen all of them. So go check out SamuraiDVD.com. So this is another TV movie, and it looks and feels nothing like one. And like I said in the previous review, if this is the kind of films that Japan's getting on TV, then I'm jealous. So the movie released in 2019, which was 4 years after the previous TV movie. Merlin over at SamuraiDVD.com gave me this movie together with the other one, which was A Duel's Tale. And while neither of these films are connected in any way story-wise, I can see why these two films would go together. For one, both of these films were directed by the same director, and both movies deal with an old Nakadai who's playing an aged samurai that is returning to pick up his sword for one last time. In both films, the main character is also trying to make up for his past sins. In this film, Nakadai plays a traveling gambler known as Funeral Uno. He is now 86 years old, returning to his hometown for the first time in 30 years. The film is told partly in flashbacks, and eventually he's going to be forced to face his lifelong nemesis, Boss Kyozo. Kyozo is a vile yakuza portrayed by another superstar of samurai cinema, Nakamura Atsuya. And before these two old gamblers can settle a almost 30-year-old score, they must put their lives on the line in one last game of dice. But there's much more to it than just gambling. And the finale, I'll say, is to die for. What I love about Fujisawa's stories is that whenever you get the final fight or something, he does a lot with less. And what I mean by that is the big moments may not have all the action of action movies like 13 Assassins, but they have more at stake. This movie has a very similar finale to the Twilight Samurai, where the confrontation is almost quiet, but when it pays off, it hits hard and you don't forget it. The final confrontation itself in this is especially well made and very unforgettable, so it's worth seeing just for that, but everything else is great too though. So having watched both of these movies back to back, I'm gonna say I think I enjoyed this one a bit more. It's more of an involved and even much more mature story. There's of course more blood and sword fights, but it also just has a lot more going on. I did enjoy the simplicity of the previous film. I felt it was very easy to follow, but as for this one, I also enjoy the complexity of it. Everyone in the film puts on an excellent performance, but of course Nakadai just steals the show here, and he really deserves an Oscar. I also really like the score, and it does an excellent job of just letting you feel all the emotion of what's going on. So yeah, by now I shouldn't have to tell you that this is a must-see. It's an excellent film. It's one of Fujisawa's best. It's one of Nakadai's best. So go out and get it on SamuraiDVD.com. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to support my Patreon to help this channel grow. Thank you.